Hey guys, I'm Mal today. Today we'll be over my team preview of North versus South. So yeah, the teams just got announced I think a few hours ago. So I'll just give you my take on what I think about the starting lineups and the bench. So for the North, they've gone with a pretty decent team. At number one they've selected Karl Tuungafasi. At number two they're going with Asafo Aumua. At three they're going with Tuungafasi. At four they're going with Tuipulotu. At five they're going with Tupou Vaa'i. At six they're going with Akira Ioane. At seven they're going with Ardie Savea. And at eight they're going with Hoskins and Sotutu. So yeah, it's a very good forward pack there. With Karl Tuungafasi and Tuungafasi, repping the Blues within that prop area. I mean that's probably what I would expect really for the North to select. But yeah, I'd say a shock you could say is Asafo Aumua being selected at number two. For the hooker spot. With Dan Cole's injured, it's kind of expected for either Asafo Aumua or Dixon to start within this game. But I kind of did expect Dixon to start. I think he, in my opinion, had a slightly better Super Rugby Aotearoa performance overall within the competition. But I mean, Asafo Aumua is the future within the hooker spot, so it's kind of understandable why they've selected him within that area. I just hope that Dixon gets his opportunity really within the All Blacks. But yeah, the lock situation with Tuipulotu and Vaa'i, Tuipulotu's captaining the side, which is great to see. And Vaa'i, he's a young lock really, and I can see why they've added him. With the All Blacks, I'd say that's probably the area which they have, it's the most concern for them. Most concerning area for them is probably the lock position with Brody Retallick, just not able to play, and the likes of Scott Barrett also injured. So yeah, no, at the moment it looks like Tuipulotu is. He's going from the third choice lock to putting his name as the number one essentially. I think as the number one choice for the lock position. So I think he's had a great year essentially for the Blues and particularly within that Super Rugby Aotearoa competition. But yeah, beyond to the loose forwards, with Ioane, Savea, and Sotutu. I mean that's one of the best loose forward packs I could say I've seen in a while from the All Blacks. That's something that I would definitely be intrigued to see how that works, but. I am interested to see why Lachlan Boucher isn't starting. I mean, I'll get into that later, but maybe he's injured, maybe they're just not selecting him, but I'm surprised he's actually not starting. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Akira Ioane. I think he definitely deserves to have his shot. He's been one of those players in the past few years who's been turned down, you could say, by the All Blacks and just wasn't, you could say, up to the standard of what the All Blacks are looking for. And yeah, no, I'm just happy to see him get his shot really. This is Breaker. He needs to do well. I really think this is probably Akira's last chance. It's sad to say that, but he's one of those players who's so talented. He's so talented, but I think it'll be interesting to see how he plays. But yeah, the likes of Savea and Hoskins Sotutu. I mean, if you've never seen Sotutu play, I mean, he was brilliant throughout Super Rugby Aotearoa and definitely ones to watch, I'd say, for the future for sure. But yeah, on to the backs. Number 9, they selected TJ Perenara. At 10, they're going with Beauden Barrett. 11, they're going with Clarke. 12, they're going with Anton Lienert-Brown. 13, they're going with Rieko Ioane. 14, they're going with Sevu Reece. And at 15, they're going with Damian McKenzie. So yeah, no, it's a very good-looking back line there. I mean, the first thing I can notice that they're starting TJ Perenara over Aaron Smith, which is, I'm not going to say it was predicted, but it could have gone either way, really, with Aaron Smith probably being the first choice scrum half, but I can definitely see why they're selecting TJ Perenara over Smith, because, I think they're trying to work out who will be, the backup to Smith within this game as well. But yeah, no, Beauden at 10, it's great to see, I'd say he probably had better performances within 10, within Super Rugby Aotearoa compared to 15, so it's great to see him there. And yeah, with the likes of, the centers with Rieko and Reece. I mean, with Anton Lienert-Brown and Rieko, that will be a dangerous combination. I definitely want to see how that works out. With Rieko, shifting from the wing to the center role. I mean, he's been playing, I'd say, center more now within Super Rugby Aotearoa, and yeah, he's just showing that he has a lot of versatility, you could say, within his positioning. So that's great to see, and hopefully he does well. Hopefully we can see. Maybe that could be an All Blacks center pairing. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, no, with the wingers as well, they selected Clarke and Sevu Reece. I mean, that's a great selection, really. I mean, I'd say the only I'm not really too surprised with that. That's kind of what I would have gone with. With Clarke having a fantastic year, fantastic season, you could say, within Super Rugby Aotearoa for the Blues, and Sevu Reece just being Sevu Reece. I mean, it's kind of what you expect from him. And yeah, at 15 they selected Damian McKenzie, which is kind of predictable in the sense as well. He was probably one of the standout players you could say for the Chiefs. They didn't have a lot of them, but he was definitely one of the standouts you could say. And yeah, he definitely deserves to be in the 15th slot. But yeah, moving on to the bench, they have a lot of good bench players, the likes of Ash Dixon, I was talking about before, Ayden Johnstone, Angus Taval, they have Scott Scrafton, Dalton Papalii, and that's like covering like the forward pack there. But within the backs, they have Aaron Smith, Peter Umaga-Jensen, and Mitch Hunt. So yeah, it's pretty interesting the selections they've gone with. I mean, from the starting lineup to the bench, I think they're surprised when I don't know why they've not selected him. Maybe he's injured and I just don't know about it, but I'm surprised that Lachlan Boshier isn't, included within the North. It's kind of surprising, really, how he's not been included. I think he's been one of the outstanding, I'd say most informed players you could say without Super Aurora. So, yeah, it's a bit surprising not to see him within the team sheet, the starting 23, really. But yeah, no, Papalii definitely deserves to be within the starting 23. I mean, it's great to see him get his opportunity. And yeah, like I was saying before, Aaron Smith, he's essentially in my mind the starting number 9. So they're realistically within this game, seeing who will be the backup to him. But yeah, no, the likes of Ayden Johnstone and Taval. I mean, I'll be surprised. I'm surprised they've selected Angus Taval. I think he only played one game within Super Aurora, so it's surprising to see him being selected over a few other players. But yeah, I'm not really going to argue the fact to it. I mean, he's had previous experience with the All Blacks, so that could count to his name and probably why they've selected him within that area. Also with Scott Scrafton, he's a reliable person, reliable lot to have. He has a lot of Super Rugby experience, so good to see him included. And yeah, Peter Umaga-Jensen and Mitch Hunt, they both had had good campaigns for the both their teams with the Highlanders and Hurricanes. They both were pretty good throughout the whole competition, and yeah, definitely deserve to have their shot within the North side. But yeah, moving on to the South, the South have gone with a pretty interesting side. I'd say, it's kind of what you would expect, really, where it consists mostly of Crusaders. So yeah, at number 1, they've selected Joe Moody. At number 2, they're going Cody Taylor. At 3, they're going with Nepo Lalala. At 4, they're going with Sam Whitelock. At 5, they're going with Mitch Dunshea. At 6, they're going with Shannon Vizell. At 7, they're going with Tom Christie. And at 8, they're going with Tom Sanders. So yeah, that was a very good looking back forward path there for sure. I mean, yeah, I'm not really going to argue with. There's not really a lot to argue with a lot of them. I mean, you could say Nepo Lalala, maybe that's probably one. You could say maybe that you could have maybe Lomax to start ahead of him, but I'm not really going to be too buggy about that one because that's either go either way, and they both deserve to have a shot within the All Black setup. And yeah, no, with the likes of Moody as well, he had a great campaign for the Crusaders within Super Aurora, and same for Cody Taylor. I mean, he was very consistent throughout the whole competition. But yeah, no, with their locks as well, with Whitelock and Dunshea, it's Crusaders lock pair in there, so it should have a good, bit of good chemistry there, with the likes of the rest of the team, which we'll get on to. But yeah, no, Whitelock will be captaining the side for the South, so yeah, it's Tuipulotu versus Whitelock, which is, great to see, because they're, at the moment, they're still, the top 2 choices for the lock position, so yeah, it's good to see them both being selected as captain. Yeah, no, with Mitch Dunshea, he's very similar to the sense of Scott Scrafton, who has a lot of Super Rugby experience, and yeah, I hope he just gets his shot, really. It's great to see. And he is young as well, so, that's also another good thing about him. And yeah, no, with the loose forwards with Frizzell, Christie, and Sanders, I mean, Frizzell is a guaranteed, I think. He's, in my mind, I think he is the best number 6 New Zealand has. I mean, I'd say it goes in order of Frizzell, Boshier, and then Akira. I'll probably say that's the order for number 6s. And then if you want to include after that, maybe Cullen Grace. But Shannon Frizzell, what can you say? You can't really argue against that in selecting him. And yeah, Tom Christie and Tom Sanders, they've been both pretty good for the Crusaders throughout the Super Aurora. And it's great to see. I particularly like Tom Christie a lot. I mean, he just has everything. And he reminds me a lot of the way Richie McCall played. And so yeah, I'm excited to see how he plays, really. And yeah, Tom Sanders definitely deserves to be within the 8 slot as well. So yeah, moving on to the backs. At number 9, that's Brad Weber. At 10, we're going Richie Moana. At 11, they're going George Bridge. 12, got Jack Goodhue. 13, they're going Brandon Enor. 14, they're going Will Jordan. And at 15, they're going with Geordie Barrett. So yeah, no, it's a very good looking back line. I mean, it consists mostly of Crusaders, which is kind of expected, really, with the likes of Moana, Bridge, Goodhue, Enor, and Jordan. So you can't really argue against all of them. I mean, with Mo'unga being probably the most informed player throughout the competition, and George Bridge and Will Jordan just being reliable and definitely one. Yeah, they were pretty dangerous throughout the whole competition, and yeah, Will Jordan I think got like what 6 tries and George Bridge got like 5, so it's like yeah, I mean they're try scoring machines really, and that's kind of what you want to see from the All Blacks. Yeah, and they're good. You know, the centre pairing have Goodhue and Enoa, that they'll have a lot of chemistry there. I mean, from 10 to 14, that's like a whole Crusader setup. So, yeah, that's the one thing that I think the sub has definitely has the advantage over against the North. But with the likes of Brad Weber as well, being selected at 9, it's great to see. Really, he's going to kind of go against TJ Perenara, like I said, for the backup position. I'd say for a scrum half for Aaron Smith. And at 15 minutes, led to Jordy Barrett, which is kind of expected, really. He had a breakout campaign, you could say, with the Hurricanes, and he was probably their best player throughout Super Rare. So, definitely deserves to have his shot. And personally, I think it's going to be so interesting to see how this plays, because there's so many positions. Like, if you just go by one, like, where you're not sure who's the better player, but, it's going to be interesting to see how all both teams play. But moving on to the bench. Within the bench, they have the likes of Liam Coltman, George Bauer, and Tyrell Lomax cover the front row, with Bauer and Lomax being those props and Coltman being the backup hooker, which is great to see, because Coltman's always been that. He's been pretty good off the bench and definitely makes an impact a lot for the Highlanders. So great to see him have his opportunity. They went with Selby Rickett for the lock position for the South, and Dylan Hunt for the loose forward. So I'm not really gonna argue with that. I mean, I'd say Selby Rickett's probably a weird one. I'd say. I mean, that just comes down to to the injury problems that they have within the lock position for the All Blacks. Within the for good enough players, you could say, who can fit in within the All Blacks setup. So I'm not really gonna argue against that. I can see why they've selected him. Dylan Hunt, he's been sensational, you could say, throughout Super Rare. I mean, I think he had the most tackles out of anyone within the competition. So. And he recently signed for the Blues, so it's great to see, really. But they also have the likes of Finley Christie, Josh Ioane, and Lester Faliancu, who cover the backs for the South. So pretty good, and overall, I'm happy to see that. Finley Christie was pretty good for the Blues coming off the bench, and he definitely deserved his shot. I mean, with Josh Ioane and Lester as well, they've been in good form as well for both of their teams respectively. But that's it with the lineups. I'll also put them down within the description just for you guys. You can guys see visually. But I think this will be definitely a close game for sure. I mean, I'd say the odds, the bookies' favorite, I think, is the North at the moment to win by 3 points. So that's be a pretty close game for them to see. I mean, I'm personally going to be selecting. I'll be definitely rooting for the North to win this game. The likes of the Blues players within there, and I'd say most of the South players are. If you're going to support the South, you're definitely a Crusaders fan or a Highlanders fan for sure. So that's kind of the way I see it. But it should be interesting. I mean, to be honest, I hope the North win. I really do hope the North win, not just because I want them to win, but also because I think the loose, if I'm going for each position, I think the loose forward pack is one that I would like to see within the All Black setup, with the likes of maybe Lachlan Boucher fitting within Akira spot, depending on how well Akira plays. And I mean, with the likes of their back, I think the backs, especially the wingers and fullback, will probably be the toughest positions to call, with George Bridge going against Clarke, Will Jordan going against Sevu Reece, and Jordy Barrett going against David McKenzie. So should be interesting to see how the the selectors choose them, because you have to remember that the All Blacks will announce their squad 24 hours after this game. So everyone who plays within this match is essentially going for that All Blacks jersey. So this will definitely not be like a fun and crazy game like normal, like a Barbarians game. This will be definitely have a lot of intensity and a lot of things going into it, and because the players will definitely want to make the All Blacks setup for sure. But anyway, that's it with today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just want to give you guys the update on what the North versus South situation is, and it is being played at Sky Stadium, which is great to see, with no fans, which is not good to see, but we have to make do with the whole Corona situation within New Zealand. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.